All right. So to get started, let me share with you the tutorial questions. Here we have tutorial question for lesson 2. That ranges from question 1 to question 20. So since we are having 20 questions here, I would like to take maybe multiple. So that means I'll be taking 5 questions all together. All right. So to get started, let's see what question 4 is saying. Question 4 says that considering the following examples of ordinal variables, I want to believe everybody is seeing the questions and then you are hearing my voice. So considering the following, I'm reading from here, I'm reading question 4, okay? I'm now reading question 4. It says, considering the following examples of ordinal variables, which one best represents an ordinal variable with potentially equal intervals between categories? Again, look at that. In the 4th question, where I said, considering the following examples of ordinal variables, which one best represents us between categories? Okay, look at the first option. It says A, satisfaction rating. Can you talk about equal spacing? Rating. So this is teacher experience level. C, grade level, first year to final year. And the D, reading skill level, beginner to advanced. I can see some people are raising their hands because I don't allow you to unmute yourself. Now let me do that, and please do that with decorum. If you want to speak, kindly unmute yourself and speak. And if you don't want to speak, just remain muted. So what is the correct answer here?
C.
Somebody said C. Let's see that. It says grade level.
C is the correct answer.
Year to final year. Definitely, this is the correct answer. Why? Because there is equal spacing between year 1, year 2, year 3, and year 4. So very simple question. Let's go to the next question, question 8. We need to run through this very fast because of the time. Which of the following scenarios best uses a nominal level of measurements? Which of the following scenario best uses a nominal level of measurement? Remember nominal, where you just talk about membership, okay? A, now I need to keep people muted again. Okay. So it says, which of the following scenarios best uses a nominal level of measurement? A, ranking countries based GDP. Then B, classifying types of learning disabilities. C, ordering students by their grades. D, measuring temperature in degrees Celsius. If you cannot speak, you can just type the answer in the chat and then throw it to us, we will see it. All right?
The answer is B.
The answer is B. You agree with the answer is B?
Yes.
An indication to the answer is there, where it's talking about classifying. Whenever you are classifying something, you are talking about membership of a class, then you are talking about what? Nominal level of measurement. Let us go to question number 12. That is the next one. It says, interval level data are distinct from nominal and ordinal because they do not allow for any array point. C, assume equal spacing between values. D, can only be analyzed using non-parametric tests. So the answer is what?
C.
The answer is C. Assume equal spacing between what? Between values. I want to believe you all agree that the answer is C. Let me quickly look through the chat. Okay, thank you. Right, so let's go to question number 16. It says, in the context of interval data, such as SAT scores, what does the 0 point signify? Remember that in the context of interval now, so just like SAT scores, what does 0 point signify? A, it says absence of knowledge. B, it says lowest possible score, not necessarily meaning absence of ability. Lowest possible score, not necessarily meaning absence of ability. C, arbitrary value without practical meaning. And lastly, baseline level of competence. What is the correct answer here? This one is tricky.
B. Is B.
Is what?
B.
Is B. Lowest possible score, not necessarily meaning absence of what? Ability. Thank you. So we take the last question before we move to our practical demonstration, where it says, a researcher analyzes the percentage of classes attended, attendance rate, across 4 semesters to look for trends, okay? This variable is best described as which level of measurement? Attendance, percentage of attendance rate, okay? A, it says nominal. B, it says ordinal. C, it says interval. And D, it says ratio.
I'll go for D, ratio.
What is the correct answer here?
D. I think it's D. D. The correct answer is D, sir. D.
D. Somebody.
D.
The answer is D, doctor.
B for boy and D for dog.
So D for dog, sir.
D, ratio, sir.
D for dog.
The answer is D, ratio.
Ratio.
Sir. Ratio, yes, sir.
The answer is D, ratio. Okay. So why is the answer D? The simple question here is that we are talking about attendance rate. This can be 0 and it means no attendance at all, which is absolute 0. So therefore, we can agree the answer here is what? Is D. The attendance rate is actually the ratio level of measurement. Thank you. I think, yeah. Somebody wants to say something before we proceed? Thank you. So at this point, we can say we've come to the end of the recall of some sample questions. It is left to you to look through these questions 1 to 20 and try to address them one after the other. All right. So having done that, then the next thing will be to check through the SPSS. I want to believe that you have downloaded the SPSS for those of you who are working on your laptop. And I think in the last class, some people also mentioned the fact that SPSS is also available on mobile phone. Yes, so if you cannot access it using the computer, then you can also access it using the phone. So for those of you who have installed the SPSS, you can just launch the SPSS. Launch the SPSS by clicking on the link you have. Let me exit this, stop sharing to allow the SPSS to launch fully. Then those on mobile phones are PDF. I don't know what that is. So okay, everything is going normal. Yeah, thank you. Okay, so now I can now share the screen to show you the SPSS, which I've launched now on my computer. This is how it looks like. When you hear SPSS, this is what you are going to see whenever SPSS is launched. So can you all see this? I want to believe.
Yes, we can.
Yeah, sir, we are with you. Yes, we are with you, sir.
So I want to hide this video. Yep. So this is great. Now you can all see the SPSS. So when you launch it, this is what you are going to come to. And I want you to look down here. Have the data view. Can you see it down? You have what we call variable view. If I click on that variable view, it will take me to another platform, which is still on the same application. So whenever you launch SPSS, you have two types of views. We have the data view here, and we have the variable view here. You can switch between data view and variable view by clicking on the item here, down here. Data view, you have it. Variable view, you have it. Okay? All right. So having said that, what can you now see at the data view? This is a question of interest. What is it you can see at the data view? At the data view, this is where you see all your data, all the variables you have in your study, and all the numbers attached to the variable. This is where you're going to see it, the data view. Okay, all the variables and all the numbers you assign to your variables. So we repeat those that those that are causing the interruption, kindly mute yourself. For those causing the interruption, kindly mute yourself. Okay, so in continuation of what I'm saying, we have the data view. That is why I said you will see all your variables and you will see all the numbers assigned to your variables. This one is clear. Then for the variable view, this is where you define your variable. I repeat, on the variable view is where you do what? You define your variable. So we shall take some examples today and see how we data and then we define the variables attached to the data. Why on the data view and the variable view, there is a common heading to them. Both the and the variable view, I repeat, there is what? A common heading to what? And that common heading to them is what you have up here. Let me hide the okay. The common heading that we have, when you look at here, you have the headings for utilities, action, will help. Okay, when you click on the variable view, you also have the same thing. Okay, this heading is the same as that of the data view. Again, the second row of this heading, where you have a folder, you have like save button, print, and all this, as you can all see them. When you click on the variable view, you still have the same thing. The only difference as per the heading is that when you look at this last tool here, before your main editor, you can see you have VAR all through. But when you look at the variable view, you have a different thing. You have some labels. You have time, decimal, label, values, missing, and so on and so forth. So this is where they differ in terms of headings. So please, for those that are interrupting, just stop talking.
Yana da amana kuma yana da gaskiya a cikin lamarinsa. Kuma yana da tsayawa duka saboda haka dama abin da suke so kenan. Magana aure duk ki kwantar da hankalinki. Shi dama.
So I think the only thing you can do is just to mute everyone.
I think the next thing is punishment. Perhaps I will just send the person out of the Zoom. Maybe that will help us to have a decorum. If anyone has speak unnecessarily, the person will be out of the lesson. That will allow us to have. Let me start from. Okay, who is talking again? Just be sent one by one. Okay, I think you have a better fit now. All right, so as I'm saying, otherwise they now allow us 1 hour in peace. So as I'm saying, we have go to the data view and the variable view. Somebody is talking again. So we have both the data view and the variable view, and they have common headings except for the last before the edit. Some items on top of this of both data and variable view. However, these items, we are going to get to them one after the other. For now, we should just leave them alone. Let's pretend as if we don't know what they mean. And as time goes on, we are one after the other whenever we want to see how we can create a variable. Let's see how we can do what? We can create a variable. Okay, so let's see how we can create a variable. So to create a variable is something very easy, all right? But which type of variable do I want to create? All right, so suppose I want to create a variable which I call gender. A variable which I call what? Gender. We all know that this type of variable is a categorical variable. So to create a variable, I will come to this variable view. This is where I will come to. Then I will name the variable. Look at the word name. Name the variable. And I want to name the variable as gender. Okay? I wrote the gender. In this place, you cannot put space. You only type one word, and that is it. You can't put space. But I think you can put underscore to separate it. Okay? So as soon as I click on type gender into that box, I will just I can click on tab on my computer. If you click on anywhere else, you will see it. The whole of the row we have here, the first row is now populated. The first row is now populated with some strange thing. Okay, let me still kick out somebody again. Okay.
System now. Others when the security system this click the variables. And I can name variables and I clicking so can.
Okay, I think it's out. The next person will also go out now. Okay, so as I'm saying, as soon as you type in gender and you click everywhere, every other place in the editor, the whole of the first row is now populated for you with some suggestions. But this may not be what describes my variable. Like the first one is a type. It puts here numeric. That means this computer is suggesting to me that my variable gender, I'm going to use number gender. And I think this is correct. If you don't want to use numeric, you can use other variables like date, like string. Like for instance, I may decide to type female, male, female. In that case, I have to use that I want to type in text. But if I want to use number, I will just leave that numeric. So I'm leaving numeric because I want to use number. I click on OK. Then width, it has to do with the length of the character I want to type in there. But since this is numeric, just only 1 or 2 numbers, you can just leave this one and the default. Then decimals, how many decimal place? This is just 1 and 2 for male and female. So I don't need any decimal, so I can change this one to 0. You can decide to change it to any decimal point of your choice, and I like to put it at what? At 0. So label, under label, this is where you describe what gender means. In this, your data, what is gender? Or what are you talking about gender? What is that variable you have used this name gender to represent? In that case, I would like to say, this means gender, just description, gender of what? Of students. Okay? Gender of students. Then it's asking me for values. For these values, it's also very important. Like for instance, when I want to enter the data, I will be using 1 for male and then 2 for female. This is where I will define it. So here now I can say value 1 is stand for male. Okay? And then when I click on 1 and I put male there, I can press enter. It will create it. 1 equals to male. And then value 2, I can say stand for female. Value 2 stands for female. I click on that. I'm okay. 1 and 2. All right. Then I click on okay. Missing. Is there anything missing? For now, I don't deal with any missing values. Then the columns, you can forget about this. Alignment is about the placement of the number. Then we come to measure. Yes, we just finished level of measurement. This is where you define it. Whether it is nominal, whether it is ordinal, whether it is what? Scale. You can see here, ratio is missing. Instead, we have scale. Interval 2 is missing. So both interval and ratio level of measurement, they are grouped as scale in SPSS. So when you hear scale, it's in SPSS, it means the variable is either ordinal, is either what, interval or ratio. So here I'm talking about gender. This is just classification. This is just membership. I will just call it what?
Nominal.
What will I call it? Nominal. Because it's just gender. Either you are a male or you are a female. Gender is always nominal. Now I have finished creating this variable. Let me now go back to data view. Click on this. Can you see something different now? In the data view, I now have gender. Before it was all VAR. Now I have gender. So in this column for gender, I can now put my data. Suppose this particular research I'm doing, there are only 10 students. 5 of them are male and 5 of them are female. Remember our code. 1 is for male and 2 is for female. I will just got 5 ones. Then for female, I have two female. So these numbers you see here, they represent the males for the ones, and the 2s also represent the
females.
At times, you may forget what to use this number value labels. If you click on value labels, you will see now, instead of 1111, we now have male. Instead of 2222, we now have female. This is the work of the value label. You can click to alternate between male and female. Okay. Now suppose we have another variable, which we call performance. We have another variable, which we call what? Performance. Okay, for me to create that variable, then I can come down to variable view, right? And here I will just put performance.
Inside for my back.
Performance. Okay, I just type in there performance and I click on anywhere else. Then the whole of these will be populated. Can you see? The whole of this is populated. And again, performance It is numeric because I'm going to type in the numbers, not letters, right? And then maybe decimal points. Maybe this performance can have decimal points. I can leave it as 2 decimal place. And in the label here, I can type here performance of students. Performance of what? Students.
Students.
Performance of what? Students. Yeah. For the values, you don't need any value here because performance is a continuous variable with scale. It is not nominal. You are not labeling somebody or whatever. So you just leave this place blank. And if there is no missing value, let us assume there is no missing value for now. Now, we are going to deal with issues of missing values later on. Then again, when we now come to measure, now tell me, performance here as a measure from 1 to 100, it falls under which category? Is it terminal, ordinal, or scale? Scale. Because it's either interval or
ratio.
So it is under scale. So when I come to my data view, you can see a variable has been added, performance, with dot data there. Can you see that? Actually, it's called 23. You can see it is saying 23.00 because I put, look at the variable view, I put 2 decimal places. That is why this is 23.00. The second male is called 25. The third one's called 13. This one's called 12. And this one's called 10. While for the females, we have 32, 42, 43, then 22.5. Okay. Then 37, and then 45. Okay. This is what I got. Again, remember, if you don't want this male, female to appear, you can change this to 1 and 2s by clicking on value labels. This is my data, which I have entered. You can create your own. This is what I've just created. All right? And then you can save your data. You have just been typing since you have just saved. For you to save this data, you just click on save button up here. That's Madam. Many of them. Right. So unfortunately, our data just went away. But this is another opportunity to repeat what we did before. So again, remember to create a variable. You come to variable view, and we have just created gender. Remember that?
Yes.
Here we have this as our gender. The only thing we change here, we change the decimal to 0 points, and then we change the values. We said 1 for male, and then we use 2 for female. Okay? We use 2 for female. And then we click on put it here. And then we change the measure to nominal. And we got 5 of them, 5 males. Five males and then 5 females. And then we created another variable which we call performance. Okay. Then we also say it was numeric 2 decimal points, and then we did the measure is what is scale. You can leave the label for now to save more time. Then we wrote some numbers here which will be random again. 13, 12, and maybe 10. Then we have 7, for instance. 7, 34, 45, 33, then maybe 40. These are random. Okay, this is what we got. And then I said, you have to save your data. To save your data, unfortunately, because we don't save our data, we have to retype. So now, you come to this save button, and you can also use file. Look at file here. F-I-L-E. Up here. Then you look at save as. You click on save as, and then you save. All right? So save as, and then what? You save it. You can use your name that you want to save it. Let's say first data. Okay? And I'm saving it, let's say, in the document, still no problem. Let me save it there. Now, as soon as you click on save, this will tell you that it has been saved. So you can close this one, and then you are back to your data. So far, so good. What we have done, we have launched SPSS with the assumption that you have all installed SPSS either on your computer or on your phone. Then secondly, what we did, we also learn the difference between the two views in the data editor of SPSS, which we call the data view, and then the variable view. And then you also learn how to create variables. Now we have created two variables now. We created gender, and then we created what? Performance. And then we explained some things about this label that you see up here. That these labels help us a lot. The labels, they help us a lot in dealing with our data analysis. So for instance, the name will tell us the name of the variable we are creating, the type, tell us the type of the variable, okay, and then the width, about the length you are going to type, estimate the number of decimal points. To illustrate the type of variable with letters, let us create another variable which I can call state of origin. S O origin or S origin. S origin. Can you see it? S origin. State of origin. You can see what is space. The space will not work for you. So this is the code I've used, S origin. But this S origin, I want to student. In this case, I will just put string. Can you see this? String. And when I put string, it is asking me number of characters. Okay, 8 is okay. Maybe I can increase. Well, perhaps some states have a large number of characters, up to 12. Then I click on OK. Can I do something immediately? The difference, it has disappeared because it has to have estimates. You can use label if you like, but maybe I'm not using label. And of course, by default, string will always be what? Nominal, because we are typing. And just identification or classification purpose. So this is what we have. By the time we come to our data view, we have string here. We have our S origin. Maybe Kaduna, for instance. The first person has come from Kaduna. The second one from Kano. One from Kaduna again. Fourth one from Kaduna again. And then the last year from Sokoto among the males. This is where they have come from. While for the females, we have somebody from Kwara, we have somebody from Lagos, another person from Lagos, another person from Kwara, then another person from Eastern. This is where we have for females. So in this particular data set, let me continue to save. Save again, you click on let me kick out okay. The second person is going. All right. We have the decorum now. So you can see we have the gender, we have the performance, we have the state of origin. I think this is enough for today. In our next class, whenever, maybe not next week is more of applications which we're writing some on the board here, whiteboard here. At that time, we'll be able to do some things on means, maybe. This one will come up from, or some things on descriptive statistics. So we can see that in the upper class. By the time.
What are you doing?
Our next lesson, then the upper lesson will be on there. So, but for next week, we are going to do more of calculations. We work some exercises together in class, the 1 hour. So I can continue to save what is already saved. So at this point, I can ask if we have 7 minutes to interact, and then before we call it a day, I can stop sharing my screen. Then we have it. So any other comments, questions? Now this is the time you can talk now. You can unmute yourself and talk.
Sir, concerning the SPSS.
Yes.
Yes, my question is if Excel can be used instead, Microsoft Excel.
Unfortunately, Excel will not do what we want. You can use Excel as well. However, it will not be as we want it. There are some things there we just do by clicking buttons. In Excel, you have to write the functions. So this is a bit more easier than Excel. So unfortunately, we will not be using Excel. We'll be using the easier one, which is SPSS. And I will advise you to get SPSS. So somebody asked VR in the variable. Somebody has just the data, so that the VR there, it means variable. So thank you. Any other comment?
Hello, sir. Hello, sir.
Yes, please go ahead.
Under gender and performance. Under gender and performance. How do you get those numbers? You form it on your own?
No, I just bring them up just at random. So in your own sample, when you start collecting your data, that is where you get your read data. So these are just numbers. I just made them right now in the class, just to illustrate the point I'm making. Okay. Somebody was asking, what if we type the functions in Excel? Yes, I don't want to complicate things by typing functions. I just want to press button. So like I mentioned in class, anyone that can operate its phone, anyone that can operate his Android phone can actually operate SPS.
Doctor, thank you
for now, start writing functions in Excel, it becomes more complicated.
Hello? Thank you for this work.
Hello?
4 minutes.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, please go ahead. Go ahead with your question, please.
Doctor, how can one launch the SPSS using the mobile phone? Not as we did during the lecture.
Yeah, you see, like I mentioned, I've never used SPSS on mobile phone, unfortunately. I don't have the experience. Maybe somebody in the class can help us out. I've never used it, and I don't plan to ever use it. So maybe somebody that is using it in class can assist us.
Most of the SPSS on Google Play Store are not working. They are not functional.
Thank you. So unfortunately, Google Play Store, Android SPSS may not help us in it. We need machine-based SPSS like that of and I've already put the link to you. As the application is already on your Google Drive. Just download. And if you don't have a computer, it's not a problem. You can get somebody who has, you can just get recording of the video, you can follow it up. As much as possible to make the videos available. We sit in class, you can always go back to the video, whatever the SPSS to practice by yourself. For those who are making complaints about not hearing the voice is not audible or whatever, by the time you get the video, I promise the video will be nice. So get it there.
Thank you.
will not be able to get the code in time.
Good evening, sir.
Is it okay, everybody?
Good evening, sir.
Sir, can you hear me?
Excuse sir, don't end the class.
For the values, for example, this state of origin, can one put all the states in Nigeria? Or you just leave it blank?
You can put all the states in Nigeria on your sample size. If you are putting 36 states in Nigeria, at least the sample size must be more than 36.
Okay.
And somebody cannot claim 2 states. We have 1 state.
Okay, I understand.
So
thank you very much, sir.
That here we just have 10 people. So
okay, no need to describe.
Hello, doctor.
Yep.
The other time you said when you started analyzing the first line, you number everything, but you did not touch gender. And you said the whole thing is populated. But you didn't touch gender, you didn't number gender. It was later you put something there. Before that time.
Yes, okay. When that was in the base, and the whole road is populated. What do you say?
Does it mean that the whole thing is populated since you did not number, you did not put anything in gender?
You are talking about this place, right? You are talking about this. Yeah. Well, when I say populated, I mean when you look at
under label.
Yeah, except for label, you are the one to describe what your gender is. And in fact, I think in our first thing I wrote here gender of what of students. Okay?
Gender of students.
Look at this one. It is very clear here. Where I wrote S origin, you will forget. You can write it as state or origin. This is where you can write, you can put space, you can put anything. But in the name of the variable, you are not allowed to put space. You get it now? And in performance, you put performance of the student.
Oh, student. Okay.
Okay. I can save this now, this addition, so that I have it in hand. Maybe we are going to use this data in our next class also. I don't know.
Okay.
Doctor, sir.
I think we have our time. So
I have a question, sir.
Yes, thank you very much. See you again in class on Wednesday.
Okay.
Good night, everybody. Yes. Bye bye.
Excuse me, sir.
Thank you,
excuse me again. Okay, go ahead, please.
I have a question, sir.
I want to ask a question.
Go ahead, please.
Doc, I came late for this program because of the network, and our side there is no network like that. So I joined the lecture very late. So I don't know whether there will be a recap of this lecture.
You get the video.
Okay, Doc. Thank you.
Excuse me, sir.
You get the video. Thank you. Yes, please go ahead.
Had issue with the network and the link that was sent to us.
That was why you came late or could not join on time. The video will cover you up. Yes.
Doctor, sir.
Doctor.
I think we have to go now. Thank you very much.
Doctor, sir, I have a question.